1. Crucifixion in the Roman Empire. One of the most infamous and brutal forms of execution in history is crucifixion, as implemented by the Roman Empire, particularly known through the crucifixion of Jesus Christ. This punishment involved binding or nailing someone to a wooden cross. Apart from inflicting unimaginable physical suffering, crucifixion aimed to serve as a deterrent to society. 2. Decapitation in the Qing Dynasty. In Chinese history, especially during the Qing Dynasty, decapitation became a popular form of execution, typically performed in public to showcase the government's strength and sternness. This punishment involved the use of long swords. Severed heads were often displayed as a warning. 3. Boiling alive in the Ottoman Empire. In the history of the Ottoman Empire, a particularly cruel execution practice was boiling alive, primarily employed for those deemed traitors or rebels. This punishment entailed submerging the condemned in a large container of boiling water. The horror of this punishment aimed to instill fear and compliance among the populace. 4. Burning at the stake in medieval Europe. During the Middle Ages in Europe, burning at the stake was a frequently employed execution punishment, especially for those accused of witchcraft or heresy. The condemned were tied to a stake and burned alive as a manifestation of social and religious hatred. 5. Drawing and quartering in England. For several centuries in England, drawing and quartering were used as an execution punishment for traitors. The condemned were drawn by horses to the execution site, then quartered, meaning their bodies were divided into 4 parts, a form of exceptionally brutal retribution. This practice aimed to create threat and fear among potential rebels. 6. Impalement in the Persian Empire. The Persian Empire was notorious for implementing impalement as an execution punishment for enemies or traitors. The condemned would sit on a large, blunt stake inserted through their anus. The goal of this punishment was to create a slow and agonizing death. 7. Elephant crushing in the Indian Empire. In the history of the Indian Empire, elephant crushing was a sadistic form of execution punishment. The condemned were placed beneath the feet of specially trained elephants, crushed to death. Apart from physical torture, this punishment also intended to showcase the ruler's power and cruelty. 8. Seppuku or harakiri in the Japanese Empire. In the Japanese imperial period, the death penalty was not just a punishment, but also an honorary ritual called seppuku. This practice is closely related to the samurai code of ethics, Bushido. Seppuku was not only a way to avoid the death penalty, it was also seen as a way to restore torn honor. Men who committed seppuku viewed this act as self-sacrifice for the restoration of the dignity and integrity of their families and masters.